Welcome to Mastering Time Management Strategies for a More Productive Life. If you're here, you've probably felt the struggle of never having quite enough hours in the day, right? It's like the universe hands you 24 hours, then somehow swipes a few when you're not looking. This guide isn't about adding more tasks. Honestly, who needs more on their plate? But about figuring out what truly deserves your time. And by the way, there's a free workbook you can download to go along with this video. You'll find it in the blog post linked below, or you can grab it directly from the description. Think of it as your new sidekick, filled with exercises, templates, and spaces to scribble your thoughts as you dive into each strategy. Ready? Let's start with the basics, prioritization. But here's the thing, it's more of an art than a science. You know, picking what really matters and what, well, doesn't. Ever tried organizing your to-do list and it's like everything's suddenly urgent? The Eisenhower matrix might be your new best friend here, helping you slice and dice tasks by urgency and importance. Picture it, 4 quadrants, each one forcing you to make decisions that clear the chaos. Trust me, it works. Then there's the ABCD method, where you slap a letter grade on each task. A for the must-do now items, B for what's important but can wait, and so on. In the workbook, you'll find spaces to try these out and even reflect a bit. See what happens to your mindset when you're forced to choose. Fascinating, right? And then there's time blocking, structuring your day into neat little chunks, like puzzle pieces for each task. It's kind of rigid, yes, but it can be surprisingly freeing. Block out your schedule, and it's like you've made a promise to your day, telling each part of it exactly where it belongs. Need to finish a project? Block a chunk? Family time? Give it a block too. I think of it as giving each task a home. And if you're one of those people who loses hours to the rabbit hole of social media, it might be just what you need. The workbook's got a couple of blank templates where you can try out this structure, see if it works for you. Moving on to the Pomodoro Technique. Ever find yourself staring at a task and thinking, how am I going to focus long enough to finish this? This method's almost like tricking your brain. You work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. It's weirdly satisfying and even a bit addictive to see how much you can get done in those short sprints. That timer becomes your boss, and the breaks? A mini celebration. Give it a try, see if that rhythm clicks for you. There's a Pomodoro tracker in the workbook to help you keep pace. Now, delegation and outsourcing. Okay, this one's tough. We're all a bit control freakish, aren't we? It's hard to let go, but here's the thing, doing everything yourself actually slows you down. Imagine trying to run a marathon while holding bags of groceries. Yeah, not gonna end well. So the workbook includes a delegation worksheet where you can jot down a few tasks you might actually be able to pass off to someone else. Take a deep breath, make a list, and see what you can hand over. You might feel lighter. Strange at first maybe, but lighter. Multitasking. The myth of it. How often have you tried to juggle 2 or 3 things at once, only to end up losing track of everything? Studies are showing it doesn't make us faster, it makes us frazzled. Single tasking, though? Now that's the unsung hero. In the workbook, there's a single tasking challenge. Yes, that's a thing, where you can test out just doing one task at a time. It's like giving your brain a mini vacation, letting it concentrate on one thing before moving on. And then there's managing distractions. I'll admit, this one's the toughest. The modern world seems designed to break our focus, doesn't it? Phones buzzing, social media, even our own wandering thoughts. The workbook has a distraction log where you can note down exactly what pulls you away from work, what interrupts your groove. Write them out, see the patterns, it's kind of enlightening. Finally, we've got tools and apps for time management. They're like a digital toolbox. Some of them are just perfect, and others, well, they can end up as distractions themselves if we're not careful. Task managers, time trackers, focus apps, calendar tools, take your pick. The workbook includes a tools exploration list where you can experiment with a few and find what actually helps. Maybe it's Trello, or Toggle, or Forest, or even the good old-fashioned pen and paper. There's no one-size-fits-all, so take some time to see what fits your style. So, you're probably wondering how to fit all of this into one life, right? The workbook's got a section just for that, integrating these strategies, weaving them together. Maybe you combine prioritization with time blocking or single tasking with Pomodoro sessions. It's about building a system that feels as natural as breathing, or, something close to that. If you're ready to dive in, Grab the workbook from the blog post link below or directly from the description. Start experimenting, see what sticks, and find your flow. Mastering time isn't about conquering it. It's about designing a life that feels meaningful and balanced. Download your workbook, give these strategies a whirl, and start reclaiming your time one day at a time.